Hey everybody, welcome back to Alpine Projects Garage. In this video we're going to give you an update on the aquarium we built in one of our previous videos. Plus, we're going to introduce you to another aquarium enthusiast who has his very own YouTube channel. That channel is called Fishy Tales. So make sure you watch the whole video so you can see that. Okay, first the bad news. One of the angelfish and the really beautiful guy, who I think was some sort of cichlid, passed away. We're not sure if the move was just too stressful for them, or if perhaps they were old, but either way, they passed on shortly after the move. It is unfortunate. Alright, now that the bad news is out of the way, on to the good news. The good news is that the rest of the occupants are doing well. The silver skirt tetras are thriving and have been growing. I believe they're at their final adult size. The beta loves to cruise around the entire tank. He's a favorite of the students at the school. They're always surprised to see a beta in a full aquarium because so often you see them in those little tiny containers at the pet stores. The remaining two angels are doing well and have been running around like they own the joint. If you've ever had angelfish, you'll know that this is pretty typical of them. The plants have really flourished and matured nicely. I love having live plants. They add so much to the look of the aquarium, and I really think the fish do appreciate them versus plastic plants. We've made some additions to the community. A couple of months ago, we introduced some autosynclus algae eaters. These guys are great for controlling the algae, and because they stay small, generally speaking, they'll stay away from eating your plants. They're also very manageable too because they don't grow to the behemoth size that Plecostomus algae eaters do. We also added two panda Corydora catfish. Cory cats are always a favorite. They look like little stout guys and just cruise around the bottom foraging for food. These guys are doing well too. One of the most interesting and exciting additions we've made is, drumroll please, a clam. We were in the aquarium store and saw that they had freshwater clams. In all my years in this hobby, I'd never seen one before, so we just had to try it out. It might seem boring, because come on, it's a clam and doesn't do much, but it's so satisfying to see it open and make subtle movements. We can tell that it's actually grown since we've added it, so hopefully it's happy. Happy as a clam, you could say. Another thing that we've been doing is trying out this new food, Omega-1 Super Color Flakes. Let's see how the fish like them. So that was the update on our school aquarium, and that brings us to the part of this video where we'd like to introduce another enthusiast. His name is Dave, and he runs the YouTube channel called Fishy Tales. Hi Dave, thanks for joining and letting me ask questions about your hobby.
Hi, thanks for having me on the channel.
Why don't we start off by you telling us where you live and how long you've been doing the aquarium hobby.
I'm from London in the sunny UK, and I've been into fish keeping for, well, over 10 years now. First got into it when I went to Thailand on holiday, and I did some diving and some snorkeling, and I was blown away by colourful fish I found deep down in the sea. And well, my addiction, and it is an addiction, it started then really, and came home, but bought my first tank, and well, yeah, things have just escalated since then really.
What's your favorite part about fish keeping?
Watching the fish interact with each other and interact with me when I go up to feed them. That's what fascinates me. And I've got an Oscar fish in here, and people call them water puppies, and it's true what they say, because when it comes to feeding time, here he's just this one here. When it comes to feeding time, he swims up to the top, splashing around, getting all excited. And one time he actually jumped out of the tank and landed on top and was flapping about on top of the tank for some time, which was completely shocking for me.
Oh wow, I hope that Oscar was okay. What do you find the most challenging thing about keeping aquarium fish?
Keeping on top of the maintenance of the tank is the biggest challenge. Years and years ago I used to do it by bucket, and that was a hard slog, going backwards and forwards, sorting it all out with the buckets. But I then worked out a siphon technique of pulling the water out using a hose, and that's made it a lot easier. So now I set it all up, started siphoning out, and then I sit down and chill out whilst it's filling up and watch the football at the same time, making it a lot more pleasurable.
So how long have you been making YouTube videos, and what got you started down that path of documenting?
I started 9 months ago, just for laughs really, just to try and improve my editing and videoing skills. Started off really, just from there as a hobby. I didn't really know what to film, but I started documenting the fish because they were growing and they kept on growing so quickly. And if nothing else, it serves as a memory for me of the changes in the fish in the tanks, because there's several tanks now. And I've enjoyed it, and and hopefully people enjoy going on the journey with me and seeing the changes, and seeing what happens with the tanks and the fish and all the baby fish along the way.
One final question, what's your favorite fish?
Oh, tough one. We'd probably say electric blue acaras. Stunning fish to look at. And it's like neon blue, and when the light hits them they really pop. Don't actually have any in this tank behind me at the moment, because I had a pair and they paired up and they started breeding together, and so I've now moved them into a tank in the other room behind us, and they've paired up in there and they've started to breed and they're hatching eggs. It's all very exciting because I'm expecting them to breed hundreds of little baby fish and then work out what I'm going to do with all those babies. But it's a nice problem to have, and I've been making videos of it, which I'll be putting up on the channel soon. It's just fascinating to watch some of the things they get up to when they're looking after these babies, and they're actually very good parents, which is unlike most animals in the wild.
Well, Dave, thanks a lot for joining and letting me pick your brain.
My pleasure, and always thinking of fresh new ideas and getting more confident with this, so yeah, hopefully do something else again in the future.
Don't forget to go check out his channel, Fishy Tales. I'll mention them in the video description below. Big thanks to Dave again. Alright, so that wraps up this video. Let me know what you think of the aquarium update in the comments. If you liked the video, click the like button. It helps tremendously. See you next time.